50 years after Selma, is this guy really serious?
Notion that, say, some young kid who was brought here when they were 2 or 3 years old might somehow be deported at the age of 20 or 25, even though they've grown up as Americans. That's not who we are. That's not true to the spirit of what the March on Selma was about.
You know, Mr. President, that's not what the March on Selma was about. In fact, that's not what Selma at all was about. Selma was about legal Americans denied their rights, and it was offensive. It wasn't about illegal Americans denied their rights. That comparison is what's offensive. Because there's a big difference between a nation denying basic rights to all its citizens and denying them to those who have no such rights because they are not citizens. It is offensive to those who lost their lives just trying to be Americans. It is offensive to their descendants as well when you compare their right to those who never, ever were not remotely Americans. One group had their rights stolen. Another is trying to steal those rights, period. We are a nation of laws. We should not be a nation of fools. To compare the descendants of illegals who were snuck in here with the descendants of those who were killed here and brutally beaten here and clubbed here and humiliated here and denied entrance to schools here and jeered here and far worse here, well, I say enough of it here and enough of your patronizing words conflating issues that are very, very different here. Providing a pathway to citizenship for those who aren't legal Americans is one thing. Conjoining them, well, to a cause that ripped this country apart is something that cannot be tolerated. They are very different. To compare them is very wrong. It is not racist to see the difference. It is racist to not even care that there is a very big difference. It is insulting to those who marched and died, just as it's insulting when Democrats did this to buy votes for health care. Civil rights is too grand a cause to be cheapened as a bargaining chip for any other cause. Honor their memory, Mr. President, first off, by not mixing their message or the message from those who are long dead. They're due that respect, not some politician's diluted ramble. That's my spiel to Deneen Borelli on hers. Deneen, I just thought this was a huge leap. Hugely. What do you think?
It's outrageous, Neil. Obama's comments demeans the actions and sacrifices from the civil rights movement. We had individuals who were lynched, individuals subjected to Jim Crow laws. But what Obama is doing is exploiting what happened during that time. And another thing you got to keep in mind is that Obama loves to play on emotions. You bring the race card into the discussion, and that is an emotional issue. So what he's doing is distracting. He's distracting from his illegal executive action for immigration illegals or aliens, whatever the term is now. And it's a distraction from that, and also the fact that a judge has issued an injunction against his action. So it's a grand distraction.
Well, I would say then fix the illegal mess. I mean, you say, always blame Congress for not coming up with a measure of their own. Executive orders aren't a solution to that. And conflating the two is very different. By all means, we have to fix this. We have to do something about these kids born of those who were gotten here illegally. They were just infants or toddlers, whatever. Sure. Fine. But do not equate it to those, you know, who were killed or suffered immeasurably during the civil rights movement. No,
I totally agree. And look at the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Obama's policies are harming Americans, but especially black Americans who overwhelmingly supported him. He wants his energy policy, electricity prices to skyrocket. It disproportionately harms black Americans, and where they have average lowest incomes and average lowest job skills. So he is claiming to help those that he wants to help the most. He's harming them. And with his executive action for immigration, these low-skilled jobs, which are disproportionate jobs, blacks have these jobs disproportionately, lower-skilled jobs, these are the same jobs that the illegal aliens will be, you know, competing for. And so he's doing a huge harm.
Then what do you think of what Nancy Pelosi's done this, others have done this, even when the push for health care and equating it to the civil rights movement, that this is what Martin Luther King would have wanted?
It's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And again, we're a nation of laws, just like you said. And so another thing, you know, I'm talking about Obama and his harmful policies. We have the Federal Reserve that is harming black Americans as well. Keeping interest rates artificially low is harming jobs. Companies are investing in infrastructure, investing in assets. They're not hiring. They're not innovating, investing in innovation for their companies. So individuals are being harmed all around, but disproportionately black Americans are harmed too.
All the causes that have been glommed onto what Martin Luther King would have done.
Yes.
I wonder what Martin thinks of all this. Deneen, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.